Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, Virginia, and now Proficient Nail Academy, downtown Johnson City. Spreading love the Tri-City way is one way, but hold up, check this out. Spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. That's how we do what we do. I'm going to introduce my guests, but first, before I introduce my guests, my co-host with the most, they back.
Am I Fields, am I your barber? Emma's Barbershop, Marion, Virginia.
Jordan Barr, J Baba on Instagram from Bristol, Tennessee.
Man, we're going to do what it do. And my guy, we got this new thing coming on. We're going to start this thing called Podcast Concert. And we're going to get my guy to come in. He's going to introduce himself, and he's going to give you a little flow to start this thing off. Do your thing, my guy. Introduce yourself and just jump into this.
What's good, Craig? I appreciate you for having me. It's Rico Parquet. RICOPARKAY like the butter. Rico Parquet. That's on all Instagram, on all platforms, social media. And yeah, Mr. Raise the Bar up. And I said, I raised the bar. Yeah, I set him new heights. Because two wrongs doesn't make it two rights. I took a trip to the A and made it there by the night. I brought my Glock. I wasn't coming to fight. I brought C and he came for your wife. Sneak links and we cut on sight. She know my vibe, nice and cool like an LA night. I had to raise the bar up. They wasn't setting it right. I ain't stopping till I'm dripping the ice.
Heat.
A little bit for you, man.
That was easy. That was too
easy. That was
too easy. Too easy.
Dynamite. You know, we starting this thing called Podcast Concerts, and my guy, Rico Parquet, going to take us to it.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. I appreciate you for having me, man.
What's that feel like, just starting something brand new?
Let's do it. I mean, I went to David Crockett. That's the Pioneer logo. So if you know what a pioneer is, we the first to do stuff. We the colonizer. So it feels good.
That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So what y'all think about that, MI?
I think it's awesome, man. I actually am a huge fan of like they do the colors thing on YouTube, and then they do the Tiny Desk concert. NPR. I love those things, man. So like to have this a new chapter in what we're doing. Right. And I think that, I mean, how far could this go? You know, you never know.
Ooh, I can't wait. So every week you're gonna have my guy Rico Parquet doing this thing, giving us some music, some heat. Ooh, I can't wait. But today we got a special podcast for you. We're gonna talk about how to achieve principles of becoming a winning barber. What is a winning barber? How do you become a winning barber? We have a couple principles we're gonna break down for you, and we're gonna talk about it. What you guys think about that, Am
I think a winning barber is I mean, it's a matter of perception, and it's also are you handling your business at the same time. So like there's no winning if you're not doing the things that it takes to be successful, but also your level of winning is also a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You might not be cutting, you know, Mos Def or all these, you know, famous artists or athletes, but if you're having a sustainable lifestyle, you're making enough money to support yourself, more than enough money to support yourself, and you're happy at what you're doing, then you're winning already.
What do you think, Jordan?
Like on my side, I think just being able to set your own style, you know, having just being able to love what you're doing, don't try to be like anybody else, be yourself, respect your clients, you know, really, it's really just taking pride in what you do. I feel like it all just falls into place.
Wow, that's big. So Josh, you're going to be on the set with us often now, and we're going to come every Monday doing our thing. So in your mind as a client, and you've been getting your hair cut now for years, what do you think a winning barber, how does a winning barber set himself apart?
Winning barber sets himself apart by doing I feel like the little stuff, you know, being on time, taking like a real pride in their work. You know, somebody that's on time, that's willing to do the, you know, just make sure everything's crisp, everything's there. You know what I mean? Make sure you're comfortable as a client, everything. I think the apps is cool, the appointments and all that's cool. So I just think being on your stuff, treat people how you would want to be treated. You know what I mean?
And that's basic. You know what I mean?
What do you feel like separates yourself from other artists being who you are?
I think I would say work ethic, and I sometimes I slack, but I do understand that. Now I know not everybody's gonna be able to, or not gonna be able to, but they're just not gonna do the work. You know what I mean? And I know I've been to barbershops where they're not gonna do the extra stuff to make your clients feel comfortable, and you know what I mean. And it just sets people apart, and that's how I feel. I feel like the work. You know what I mean? The work I put in that sets me apart from other people.
And kind of like barbering, everybody has their own style
Yeah,
and their own way they do things. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And so, how would you describe like the difference in your style from other artists?
Man, I would say just my story is unique to me. And I got people I listen to every day, like people I would say like how Kobe looks at Michael Jordan. I got artists that I look up to like that. So, and I feel like that's what helped mold me is like a a pot full of artists and just molded me and me being able to tell my story in a unique way. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, talking about strategies and principles to achieve a winning barber career, the first thing I put down on my list is value yourself. Think about that. Value yourself. When you hear value yourself, what comes to mind?
Number one for me, I would say like comparison to other people. Like it's so easy to, especially early on in your career, to look and say, "What's that dude doing? What's that dude doing? What am I doing wrong? Why is this happening?" You know, we talk about that a lot on the podcast. But when you value yourself, you say, "Okay, this is my journey. I ain't there yet, but I'm gonna get there." You know, you gotta have your mindset has to be that you're working on you and that you are where you are right now is okay. You can get better, but where you're at right now is okay.
Understand your limitations and celebrate the small victories. It doesn't have to be a real big leap all at once. What do you think, Jordan?
I think just understanding that your talent and what you put into your craft is not going to be understood by other people.
Right.
So I feel like you gotta have
Mm.
a certain you gotta understand what you value yourself as. And some people, some people ain't gonna look at you like that, and you like they might maybe it's like a presence like somebody might want your haircut's 35, and they're like, man, that's too much. You try in your mind, you're like, maybe I should go down just to
No,
get him in. Nah, stay at that what you think you should be at.
that's
Just
probably
as
one of the deepest things I ever heard you say was
Yeah.
like, because when people sit down in your barber chair, they just expect a haircut, but they don't realize the sacrifices, the getting your clippers stolen, the hours of barber school, all the work that goes into your growth. They don't see that. They just see the price and the haircut sometimes, and unless they've been with you since day one. But that's deep. What would you say, like as a because I like how we just kind of reference things together. So like the value in yourself as an artist, how would you explain that?
I think it's like how Craig put it is like celebrating the small wins, like dropping a mixtape or an album. That's congratulate yourself. Like take the time, have fun at your release party. Like I think that's a big point. Like that's a big thing. Like and don't worry about what other people think. Like you said, like I think that's where people get knocked off their grind and what they're doing is they worry about somebody that don't want the $35 haircut and they want a $25 haircut and then it's a difference in that. You would have got him nice for 35. Now he walking out crooked with the 25. So it's just like you can't really base what you believe off what other people think. You gotta go with your move all the way, bro.
Run your own race
Yeah.
at your pace and value that.
And I feel like that's a hard thing to grab onto, especially when you're coming out of barber school, because you're just like, man, I gotta get this dude in.
Yeah.
Because it might be a clientele I might have lost.
I'm gonna go to his house and cut his hair for $10.
I used to do that. I used to go and they'll be like, how much for a house call? And I'm like, should I tell him 60 or should I tell him 35? Not like 35.
Rico gonna go through this with ticket prices. His
Yeah.
ticket price will start going up. His friends gonna be like, "Yo, man, I can get the backstage for free."
Exactly. And it's just like that. Nah, you can't. Honestly, it's like I feel like people like that should want to support you.
Word.
Yeah,
want
for sure.
to go buy that $60 or pay that $50 haircut.
You
Like,
sure you're not a barber?
I mean, and I look at it different because I like Thomas. I've been y'all might know Thomas, but I've been going to him my whole life, so that's how I look at it. Like I'm gonna make sure and this is my family, so I'm gonna make sure he's straight. He makes sure I'm straight, so make sure he's straight.
And it shouldn't be to the point where you want to just like cut corners and be like, ah, man, you my fan, blah, blah. Like, get me for the low.
Yeah, no. It's not supportive.
When you value yourself, it's reciprocated, and you understand that person's journey and that path they on and the hard work they put in. So when they come out with their price, whatever the price is, even if you're a carpenter, you're an electrician, you coming out to do the initial assessment, and they tell you my initial fees $75 to show up. That person values this, so you should value them, because you're gonna be in that position one day to have something as a business that you want someone to value too, and you want someone to respect.
Yes, sir.
So motivate yourself. The next one on the list. Motivate yourself.
That's what I had to do this morning. I literally had to do it this morning because like I woke up this morning and for some reason the world felt so heavy. And I'm thinking about my calendar and I'm like, my wife's like, we got to spend more time together, and my kids got ball games, and I got to be at this event. I got to talk to these people. I got to do, and it's like, it felt heavy this morning. And I just had to ask, and that's where God comes in for me, because I had to talk to God, like, I'm saying, God, like this, I need your help. Like, I can't do it without you. And this morning I told myself that, and I asked God to help me. And it's like that weight came off of me. I still feel busy. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still a little stressed out, but it helped me get my head right. Say, all right, this is what it's like. Nipsey Hussle said. Is that you got Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle said. He said it's supposed to feel like this.
Yeah.
It's supposed to feel like that. If you really doing what you're supposed to be doing, exactly. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. If you wake up every morning, you just, like, I mean, I'm happy. I want that for you, but at the end of the day, if it ain't, if you don't feel some kind of uncomfortableness, you're not really doing that.
It's funny because I had a conversation with this guy, a couple of friends the other day, and successful guys, and they said that when you think that you have all these things that you work for, it almost gets boring and lonely. Mm-hmm. The best part of it is the journey. Mm-hmm. So enjoy the journey, the struggles, the tears, the hard work, the hope, the time when you think you're not going to be able to get it, then you persevere and you get it because you can celebrate. Because when you think you're there, some people just feel there's nothing else to celebrate for. You don't have those little grinders days where you don't even think that it can happen. And you look back, those memories, you smile because it makes you feel happy, because it make you feel like you accomplished something. Like you just climbed that mountain that you didn't think you was going to climb. Accomplishments make you feel good. But to accomplish something, you have to struggle at something. Mm-hmm. You have to go through some adversity, some type of something to give you some fortitude to finish it. And a lot of people don't finish things when they start it. So they don't get that excitement. They don't get that fulfillment. So, and we were talking, and these guys are successful guys and big things, that like, the best part for me was the journey, because it had plenty struggles. It had plenty times you had to pray. You had to balance yourself and think, you know what, and second guess yourself. But then you got rounded and got back on point and realized, hey, I started this for a reason.
Yeah, we can't all be like Jordan and just wake up and it's just easy for us, right?
But
we got to motivate ourselves, right? But how do you motivate yourself, Jordan?
But if you look at it before, that Jordan wasn't. Someone had to motivate him. Someone had to be his.
Yeah, I'm just messing with him. I know messing with him. I know he's just.
It's about the pads. Huh?
Yeah, I want to hear how he motivates himself. How does Jordan push through that? Do you feel adversity? Do you ever feel stressed out, like you need some?
Sometimes I do, but I have a habit of not taking in the small, like Craig was saying. I have a habit of not celebrating the small victories, and sometimes, like recently, I just got like that. Like recently, I got the suite, and that was something I've always wanted to do, and I really haven't even took it in and been like, dang, bro, like.
You see, that's the part. You feel you hit the pinnacle. And it's kind of boring now. It's you have nothing to reach for.
And I'm trying to find, like, I'm still going forward. I'm still going forward, but it's like I've been in this mindset of always doing my thing, and when you're constantly giving 100% all the time, it kind of just like life goes on, but you're like, but I'm still increasing. Like I'm still going up. It's not like I'm going down.
Right.
But sometimes I need to take a step back and be like, yeah, bro, you did this. You need to like celebrate this and and I just need to get better at giving myself props, I guess.
Clap for yourself.
Because as just
Go ahead, clap for yourself.
But,
Clap for yourself.
I should.
Yeah, bro.
That's big.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's just something that I don't know. I'm more. I still obviously I got a lot more goals, but yeah, it's just something I got to work on. I want. Yeah, I would say that's a bad thing. I don't know.
What's a bad thing?
That I don't give myself, you know.
I mean, but sometimes some people may be looking at it as, I don't want to seem cocky. I don't want to seem I'm better than anyone. But hey, sometimes if you accomplish certain things, you have to give yourself props. You have to say, you know what? I accomplished something, so I am better. Because some people will make you feel like you ain't crap, like you're not nothing, like you're not worthy. But that's their own insecurities.
Especially some of the people closest to you.
Yeah, and sometimes you hear that enough, you like thinking like, man, I don't want to say nothing because he done told me I ain't crap, and if I don't follow through and do what I said I was going to do, I look like a failure. How do you look like a failure if you trying?
What about you, Rico? How you motivate yourself? What keeps you going every morning?
Man, I think just not being satisfied, like whether it's with life, me getting up, not being lazy, going to work out, that makes me feel good. You know what I mean? If I do that 5 days a week, I'm content. But I think with music, I'd say it's just being better than my last. Like, I feel like I don't have enough music right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I just feel like, yeah, I'm getting better, but I want more. You know what I mean? I want more music. I want to
staying hungry.
Yeah, just staying hungry. I just want more. I think that's the main feeling is like, dang, we know all these words. Riding with the homies, we know all these words, but that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't play another clip of songs. So that's what keeps me going. It's like, it's always more to do. Always, always. More to get better at. Like, and I played basketball, so it went from getting my left hand right to my jump shot perfected to being a leader. There's so many avenues to get better as a man, as a human being, as an artist. It's just more. There's always more.
I'll just tell y'all something right now. Rico was a hooper, bro. This man was a bucket.
Yeah, man.
And my boy Mike used to go at it all the time, but
Yeah.
Rico came out on top every single time.
But we ended up, facts. My guy, Mike. Shout out Mike Mays, man. BRTN, man. These my guys. Shout out Mike Mays, man.
Is it a dude you cut his hair at the shop at the school?
Yeah, he's my best friend, and I ain't gonna say it. He's the best hooper to come out of Bristol, Tennessee
Hands down.
ever, and that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, he's the hardest working dude I've ever met in my life.
Hey, you know this podcast go across the world.
Hands down.
And when you say the best will ever come out of Bristol, that's a big statement.
And that's a statement I'm gonna stand by.
He said he's the best in Bristol. Once he tried to cross into Tennessee, to Johnson City, this area is a problem.
I mean, but you got to go up there to Smith County too, up that way. You know,
he'd be all right.
Yeah, no, Mike's a hooper, bro. I got him against anybody.
Yeah,
that's my
definitely.
boy.
I've seen it too. Mike definitely is the guy, man. We got the link for our last year and play together, which was fun. So shout out, Mike.
Expect to win. Expect to win. The first one is value yourself. Second one is motivate yourself. The third one is expect to win.
When I think about expect to win, this is me, and this is the only way I spoke about God last time. I'm speaking about McGarry because that's how it is for me. When I think about expect to win, I think that God's going to put me wherever he wants me to be. So I'm going to go at it. I'm going to run through that wall 100 miles an hour straight into that brick wall. And if he opens the door for me, he opens the door for me. But if I hit that wall, it's because he wanted me to hit that wall. You know what I'm saying? And I'll have to go at it again until another door opens. So I go in at 100% with confidence, thinking that's going to work out. And if it doesn't, it's because God didn't want me to go through that wall right then. So that's how I look at life. I don't expect everything I do to work, but I don't go in thinking, okay, I'm going to take a step back. When Bruce Lee taught martial arts, Bruce Lee said, you don't go fighting it thinking you're going to win.
Right.
You don't go in thinking you're going to lose. You just go in and you fight the best you can fight. And whatever the outcome is, the outcome. And that's how life is. Because things happen that we can't control.
For sure.
There's stuff that happens every single day. So when you go into that life, that fight, when you go to fight, don't think about losing. That's the worst thing you could do. Mm-hmm. But don't worry about winning either, because you're going to set unreal expectations, or maybe you're going to set a bar too low that you're not going to be able to go over that bar, right, which is probably what you could have done. So that's what I think about.
And again, it's 6 strategies and principles to achieve a winning barber career. And that's what we're breaking down today. And expect to win. Believe in yourself. Speak highly of yourself. If you don't believe in yourself and speak highly of yourself, who will? Because there's enough people out there who want to tear you down. Enough people out there who want to tell you, why are you doing that? You don't make no sense. Why you chose that profession? Hey, I expect to win.
So it's more like about confidence than like.
Yeah, expect to win.
Okay. It's just being confident whenever you're.
But as I said, what you said too, expect to win. And when the outcome comes, it's not because you didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because you didn't try. Whatever the outcome is. But whatever the outcome is, and even if it's an obstacle, is a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Expect to win. You don't go out there talking about, I expect to fail. Like a lot of people, they'll ask guys, who's the best basketball player? And they say, me. And people look at them like, who you expect them to say? They believe in themselves. They expect to win.
Mm-hmm.
Even if realistically sometimes stats will say different, but he should expect to win. He should expect to speak highly of himself. It's not a cockiness. It's not saying I'm better than everybody else. I expect to win. I expect to be the best when the moment comes.
And Mike Tyson, there's a song I listened to. I think it was Freddie Gibbs. It was Big Boss Rabbit. And Mike Tyson's in the beginning of it. He's like, I'm the best. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm the best. He's like, sometimes I don't even believe it myself. He's like, but it's facts. I'm the best.
I mean, be real. Like, like Jay-Z said in one of his songs, he's like, I will not lose. We will not lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So what? You lose.
When you expect to win, it's like you either win or you learn.
Yeah.
Yes. There's nothing
in between.
Nothing in between.
And that's a great one.
Yeah.
You win or you learn.
Yeah.
Because I used to tell myself all the time, like in barber school, that people be coming in, they'll show me a haircut I ain't never done before. And I'm like, I'm gonna kill it. And either I either learn from that haircut or I do it exactly the way they wanted to do it.
And that's what it is with most students. A lot of times they beat themselves up and don't expect to win. And when something comes, it almost sets you to the point like you're thinking like, okay, well, it didn't come out okay, so I didn't put too much expectation on myself. And you don't give your all. Put expectation. I want my feet to the fire. I want the pressure.
Yeah.
Bring the smoke.
And I think that comes with proper preparation too.
Yeah.
Like how y'all, as barbers, I'm sure y'all went through the grind. So you put that work in. So
expect to
whenever
win.
that time comes, you gotta expect to win. After all this work you put in, graduating from the college and just being a barber, I feel like you gotta expect that,
Especially if this is your passion, you got that desire that's burning inside of you. I'm expecting to win.
Is that how you feel about music?
Yeah, like especially when I started doing it and working more and trying to perfect. It felt good to cause when people do, somebody asks like, who's the best around here, and I'll be glad. You know what I'm saying? I'll say that me with no.
That's part of rap music though. You gotta be.
You got to, but
got to.
And I honestly feel like that because the work. You know what I mean? Like it's not just I'm just saying it just because it sounds nice. You know what I mean? A lot of people would do that, but if you actually put the work in and you know that, ain't nobody stopping you. Nothing stopping you. Excuse me.
I expect to win. The fourth one, manage your goals.
This is kind of like where I'm struggling right now because I've already exceeded expectations for myself already because this barber thing kind of fell in my lap. So like I'm gonna try to be the best I could be at. I'm gonna be the best, try to be the best I can, make good haircuts for myself. Then it was like I want to be the best in the shop. Then it's like I want to be the best in the city. And then I want to be, and then like after that it's like, okay, I want to own my own shop, have my own business. And now I'm having trouble. Like, what's next? Like everything else has just been cherry for me.
We got to get back on the road.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah. So I'll get back on the road.
We got to get back on
I gotta go see something bigger than what I'm doing.
We got to get back on the road again.
That helps you so much. I want to see somebody doing big, and then you're like, okay.
Do a training, do something. We got to get back on the road. That's
you're
what
right.
That's telling me.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I need to go.
Yeah.
We do. You take Jordan.
I don't think Jordan ready yet.
Nah, Jordan get lost in Boston.
Just to go, just the experience.
throw him in a van or something. Full off.
Manage your goals.
What about you, Gordon?
I feel I'm the same way for I feel the same as Emma. I mean, I've only been cutting hair for 2.5 years, and I'm already in a suite And like I said, I started out wanting to be the best, and I wanted to be the best in the school. I wanted to be the best when I got into the shop. I wanted to be the best in the city, and now I'm in my own suite after 2.5 years, which is, I mean, I think after I look at it, it's actually pretty crazy. Um, I mean, I gotta do better at. Which, I mean, I got a really really high expectation. I want to be. I mean, I always say it every time. I want to be the best barber, one of the best barbers in the world, and I'm gonna get there.
One or the one?
I don't. Can you say this the? I mean, I guess you could say it for yourself, but is it really the best
There
barber
could
in the
be,
world?
if you wanted it.
I mean, that's a good question.
Hussein Bolt's the he was the fastest man in the whole world. Couldn't nobody tell him different. He was the fastest man in the whole world. Couldn't nobody beat him. Got the world record still. Why can't there be a barber?
That'd be tough. But you're right.
Well, the reason why it's hard to be a barber because a lot of our metrics and our data analytics is not measured by who has the fastest haircut or who's making the most money. You know what I mean? It's because a haircut is a haircut after a while.
It's based off of your own own.
Because
personal.
but what Usain Bolt is just that athletic talent that
Just
he
running.
has just running. You know what I mean?
The cat way to say he's running.
And he's not using no other equipment but his body.
Yeah,
Right.
But because we're using an equipment to achieve or accomplish our goal, this artistry of our
it's too subjective to
it's-
say.
yeah,
It's like with artists, you know, like
Yeah.
you got Monet, you got.
because we have to have an assistance to get our work done.
But you could be a, who did the Mona Lisa? I hate-
Go one of them dudes. I don't
No,
know.
it wasn't Van Gogh. But anyways, you could be the Van Gogh. You could be a Van Gogh. Van Gogh got his name chiseled in the history books forever.
Well, how you do that as a barber, right? Is come up with something
Yeah.
for this industry.
All right, so you have to actually set yourself apart
That's it.
entirely.
Yeah, come up,
Like,
with,
the
come up
whole-
with something. Come up with a new curriculum. Come up with a new technique, a new style. But just being a basic barber and just
It's like rappers too. You can't say one rapper is the best rapper ever.
No.
It's based off entire like how you feel.
unless he come up with a new style where he comes up with something he could do like do so many metaphors or lyrics and like
But that was still
3
just,
seconds.
he might be able to plant
Oh.
his flag, but
Yeah.
it would still be argumentative if somebody
Yeah,
was
he's,
the
Right.
best.
he's still not the best.
Right.
He
Yeah.
didn't make the best songs.
Right.
He didn't make.
You have the
Have the
best
best-
flow, make the most money.
it has
know
to.
what I mean?
There has to be some. If there's some metric, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some metric and then analytics thing to kind of measure that maybe. But just saying that it's so many barbers out there.
Yeah.
You know, because after a while, a fade is a fade.
You got to plant a flag somehow, Jordan. You got to plant your flag somehow.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You doing it? How's it hard? You doing it?
I know,
right now.
but I
You
feel
doing it
like
right now. You on a podcast, broadcasting yourself to all these people. Like you starting.
I mean, yeah.
So the next one, which you guys, I know you guys have a lot to elaborate on this. This is the fifth one. Again, 6 strategies and principles to achieve a winning barber career. The first one, value yourself. Second one, motivate yourself. The third one, expect to win. The fourth one, manage your goals. The fifth one, develop a strong
Work ethic.
work ethic.
Rico, how you get that? How you develop that work ethic?
That's I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of my strong suit. It's mental. It's a mental game, and I think it's just telling yourself and really willing to do it. It's kind of simple too, man. It's either you're gonna do the work or you're not. You know what I mean? And I found that it's really simple coming up playing ball like that. You either gonna get better or you're not. You're gonna go play Fortnite or you're gonna go work on your game. You're either gonna go to the mall or you're gonna. It's choices, and it's very simple. I always tell people that, and you got to stick with one. Be consistent. It's because if you're going to limbo, it's you basically just doing it for nothing. There's no such thing as balancing work. You know what I mean? You got to go all the way in with work, and that's it.
And that's what as a barber student starting out, you saying you gotta choose one. Like you're not here to sharpen pencils. You're here to learn how to be a barber. So if you come in wasting time playing around, how you gonna give yourself the opportunity to be really good? You just delaying your success. There's you had to do one thing. Learn how to be a master barber in the most efficient and effective way possible. You don't have to sharpen pencils. So when you turn down haircuts, when you're not coming to school, when you're complaining why you don't want to do a practical, are you really studying and trying to hone your craft? What are you doing?
Who's holding you accountable now, Jordan? You in your own suite. You still coming in at 10, 11? What time you coming in?
Still coming in at 10. Changed. Times haven't changed. People was asking me if I was going to come in later or earlier. And I was like, no, I'm still okay. I'm going to still take off Sunday and Monday. I was even thinking about working on Mondays. But I was like, no, I got the podcast. Can't do that. Well, I probably could. Just for like half of the day.
You got to take some days off, man. You can't be.
But no, I still say the same. I feel like for me, my work ethic came from when I was younger. Yeah, and it's been developed for years. And I've kind of had the same concept. Me playing sports, they kind of bash it into your brain. So I feel like I just carried that throughout my life, and I've always stayed consistent with most of the stuff that I've done. I mean, there's a reason why I've gotten here in the amount of time that I've been cutting. So just repetition, believing in yourself, not being what's the word I'm thinking of? Complacent.
Right.
Yeah, not being complacent and just always believing that you can be better. And that's what's going to propel you to the next level every single time.
And again, I'm not saying this is the only thing to make you become a really good student, really good barber in this industry. But I'm just saying, there's some things that you can choose and look at which can help you and propel yourself on the road to success. And the last one we're going to jump into is value your client. Value your client. Value your client, customer service, treating them well. Treat them how you want to be treated. Respect their time. Make sure you give them great service. Make sure you're able to explain the service that you're giving them. Make sure you let them know you value them more than just a haircut. You're not here just to take their money.
I was thinking about Rico, how artists have to, you got your fan base, your fan base is what's going to help propel you through your career. And in a barbering, it's kind of the same thing. Like our clients, a lot of clients are going to drop off throughout your whole process of growth. And that's just natural progression. But the ones that stick, you still got to celebrate the ones that are there for you and still, helping you pay your bills. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, man,
for sure.
Definitely.
Because when you value your client, your reputation is solid. Your retention is impeccable. And your income is where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Your retention of clients, your reputation, and your income. When you value clients, those things are where it needs to be.
And I know some barbers I've seen like there's a fine line. So you some barbers just will push you back, spray enhancements on you, send you out the door because they don't, whatever, just get your money right then. And you can't have that attitude. You got to have the attitude of having somebody come back. And the only way they come back is if you great service, great communicator, and treat them as a person and not as a money sign. Because if you treat them as a money sign, you might just get that money one time. But if you value them as a human being and as a client and who they are, that's when those relationships are created and they keep coming back. And that money will sustain you. That $30 right there, that might be all you get from them. That ain't gonna last long.
Right. That's big. What you guys think?
I mean, your client is, that's the person that's paying your bills. That's the person that's got you at the place you're at right now and be able to pay, like doing what you love. I mean, why would you not want to give them the best possible service you can offer them? So, sure. It's like, it's without them, we're nothing, literally. Like, we can't do nothing without clients. So it's just common sense for me, it's common sense to always treat them right and make them feel good. I like making people feel good, making them look great. So it's just common sense for me.
That's big. Again, shout out to FeedSpot for ranking us in the top 25 podcasts in the world, the top 25 podcasts in the country, top 5 actually. Just want to give a special shout out to all our listeners out there. Again, Barber College Success brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, Johnson City, Tennessee, Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, Virginia, and then Proficient Nail Academy, downtown Johnson City. Spreading love. It's one way we do it, through the Crown Cutz way, and that's the only way. But most people think it's just the Tri-Cities ways, which we love too. But it's just the Crown Cutz way, how we do it, what we do. Before we end it out of this episode, what are you guys' lasting words you want to say? How'd you like this episode? What'd you think about it?
Don't come into the fight. It was a great episode. I enjoy Rico coming. I'm excited for the future. Don't go into a fight thinking about winning or losing. Just fight the best fight you can.
Let's fight. Fire. Jay Bird, I know you got the shoulder pads on. You're thinking about MI.
Yeah, just give 100% every time. Always go in thinking that you're gonna win. Either you're gonna learn or you're gonna win. As long as you have that mindset. If you think you're gonna lose, you're probably gonna lose. So
right. Again, I'll go back to one of my favorite quotes: "Make your first day like your last. Make your last day like your first, and make that your everything." Next level. And before we close, I'll give my guy, have him say the last word. You want to throw something at the listeners out there? You want to throw a verse for him? You got something for him? Is it too quick, or you just want to wait?
Oh yeah, let's wait. But
So,
man,
no doubt.
this was dope, man. I had a ball. I can't wait for the next one. I'm looking forward to seeing how we work and what we do, man. This is nice. BCS, right?
Yes, sir. Barber College
man.
Success.
Shout out Craig. Shout out to Tri-City. Shout out my guys, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Again,
yes, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Interview him.
Yeah, we could, and how barbering and music go together.
Hey, y'all mind?